Dakota Ditcheva here at American Top Team in South Florida, Coconut Creek, all the way from England. Getting ready for your big PFL debut, which is going to be on August 20th in your homeland of London. So that's got to be really cool. What is it like, first of all, being here at American Top Team, and how did you get to American Top Team?
I mean, I've absolutely loved it here. I don't want to go home at all. But I've had such a good camp over here. I've been here like just over 4 weeks now, which was a bit of a surprise. I originally only came for 2 weeks, and then ended up staying and finishing my camp here, which was amazing. So yeah, I've had such a good time here now, and I was on like a bit of a USA tour, like going to a few different places, a few different gyms. It's my first time training in the States, so I wasn't really sure like where I wanted to settle or anything. So I went to California, did some training there, I went to Vegas, and then the last spot on my trip was here, and I'm glad I left it till last because then I ended up staying and absolutely loved it.
What did you know about American Top Team coming in, and what were your thoughts of just all the coaches and fighters that are here?
I mean, the first thing, obviously, it's the home of like so many champions, and all the top coaches and fighters are here. And as soon as I arrived here and started training with these guys, straight away, and I noticed such a massive level change from a lot of people that I've trained with before. So I was really lucky to be surrounded with such amazing athletes. But yeah, just obviously looking at all the champions across the wall in the gym and stuff, like I just feel like I'm definitely in the right place here.
It's only been about a month,
yeah.
But what are some of the things that your takeaway? What are some of the things that you've learned? Because you're 5-0 as an MMA fighter,
yeah.
And you had a really good record as a kickboxer as well. So I'm just wondering, like, are there things mentally and physically, even in that month of camp here, that you were able to pick up and just improve and get better at?
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of it is like mentally as well. Like at home, and I know I'm good and I'm at a good level, but I still kind of sometimes doubt myself, and I don't train with many females back at home in England, so I'm always having like tough rounds with the lads, and they are always physically stronger and stuff. So I think a really big thing coming over here was that I actually felt like I can compete with these girls, and I am at a good level. You know, I might not be like, you know, at the top yet, but I still am really young. But for where I'm at now, I think I'm at a good stage. So it was nice to come over here and kind of gain that little bit of confidence that I'm in the right place and I'm doing really well. So that was nice. And obviously, like, I'm coming from a Thai boxing background, a striking background. There was a lot of like things that I was struggling with wrestlers, you know, coming to take me down all the time. And the training that I've had here, like straight away when I came, I was given lots of different tips, and I feel like I've made such an improvement in a short space of time. So it's crazy to think what I'll be like in the next few years when I carry on coming back here.
Leading up to that, what is the future plans for you training-wise? Because we've got PFL Europe that's going to be in 2023, yeah. And they're going to have bouts over there like they are August 20th in London. So are your plans to maybe back and forth, some training there, working out in England, and then training here at American Top Team?
Yeah, so I still am kind of like, I'm fighting out of ATT this time, so that I've kind of made the move that I'll be doing all my camps here. So I will definitely come back for all my camps and be under the training of Conan here and all the other coaches. But I still have my gym back at home, obviously, that I'll go back and visit until like I've kind of made that move, like to live out here, and then, you know, made that complete life change. Yeah.
The transition is always the biggest thing, 'cause it's such a travel, it's such a distance to be here. Have you lived all your life in England?
Yeah, I have. So I've been there always, and it's really strange because before I came to America, everyone said to me, "Oh, you're gonna love it. You're not gonna want to come home." And I was always like, "No, like I will always be a home bird. Like I love being at home with my family. We're so close, and you know, I like my team back there. I absolutely love them and stuff. But when I come over here and the sun was shining every morning I woke up, there was no rain. I was just like, okay, I'm not going back home anymore." So that's the stage I'm at now. I'm like thinking, okay, I need to find a place here quick.
Yeah, once you come down here, it's hard not to,
yeah.
I know it's hard to leave. It is hard to leave. So it's interesting with your background. So sports growing up in England, and obviously the combat sports, but were you into soccer? Were you into other sports? Soccer is such a big sport there.
Yeah, I mean, I did all sorts of sports. I did like gymnastics, I did dance as well, like I did football. My mum used to play football as well, so I always did football. Netball was a big love of mine, like so many sports. I was just such a sporty girl, but obviously I just came back to fighting. I think it was just in the blood, and that's just kind of where I've ended up. It's guided me this way.
When you say in the blood too, because your mom was a champion professional kickboxer.
Yeah.
Did mom train you with the kickboxing? Did others train you? How did that level go for you?
Yeah, so my mum has always been my trainer since I was like 4 years old. Like, she's been my coach. She's kind of, I say, like, she's given me the stand-up level that I've got now. Like, she's always been my coach from the very beginning throughout my Thai boxing career. And then even when I transitioned over to MMA, she was still like my stand-up coach. And then I just worked with obviously other instructors to help gain like better knowledge of the MMA and stuff. But yeah, she's kind of, I always thank her, because like a mix of her genes and her training has kind of brought me to where I am now.
And your mom's name is Lisa Howarth?
Howarth, yeah.
Howarth. And did you travel with mom and watch her compete?
I didn't know. I was really young, so when my mum used to compete, she actually, my older brother, who's 2 years older than me, he went travelling with her when she was fighting. Like, she told us a story once when the promotion that she was fighting on said that they would pay for one corner to go over with her. So she actually took my dad with her instead of her coach, and took my little brother because he was free. My older brother, sorry, he was free to travel, so she took him instead of her own corner, and he was there backstage, and then she went out to fight and come straight back to him. Like, it's crazy to think of what the fighter's life was like back then. But yeah, I never really travelled that much with her when she was fighting.
You got to see her fight though, whether it be on video or things like that, and what was it like watching your mom, even that way, just seeing her compete and fight? Because there's mom and then there's the fighter.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I don't know what it'd be like to watch her live. I think it'd be a little bit like nervous, but when I look back now on all the videos and stuff, like, I am so proud. Like, I do see a lot of me in her when she used to fight, and people say the same thing, so it's really nice to have them memories and look back. And someone made a video of us once, kind of put our fights together next to each other, and we were so similar. It was crazy, so it's really nice to look back on that.
What has she been doing now, as far as, because you're training, you're here at American Top Team in South Florida, you've had other training. What is it like for her to see you competing and getting into MMA?
Yeah, I mean, she's always been so supportive. Like, she knows I'm meant to do this just as much as I know, so it's not necessarily something she would have wanted me to do. Having gone through it herself, she knows what it takes and how hard this life is, but she's so supportive, and she's obviously really proud of the transition that I've made. But yeah, I mean, she doesn't do my corner anymore, because obviously I'm in MMA, and the mother-daughter relationship as well can sometimes be a bit hard. But yeah, she's so proud, and she's always so involved in there when I need her. Like, I came over to the States to travel on my own and do this little bit of training, but she came over to visit with my younger brother for 2 weeks, which was so nice. So yeah, she's back home ready for me to come back now, and put her through another load of emotions this week.
That is going to be so interesting, because the PFL playoffs are going on, and you're also making your debut, and it's going to be there. So what do you think it's going to be like? Because family and friends are going to be there. What's that going to be like for you?
I mean, it's going to be crazy to be back home. I haven't fought back home for a while now. I've been travelling quite a lot in my last few fights, so it's going to be nice to have like a bit of a home crowd there. There's obviously a few other English fighters on it as well, so there's going to be a massive English support there for us all. But I'm so excited to get back home and just be in that comfortable space, you know, that I've missed for a while now.
Do you think are there different challenges and positives of having family and friends at the fights when you're competing compared to not having them at the fights?
Yeah, definitely. I think pressure is a big thing as well. Like, I quite like fighting abroad, just because I don't have to sell tickets, the pressure of that, and then obviously like the pressure of family and friends having to buy tickets to come and see me, you know, things like that is like stuff that plays on my mind when really it shouldn't. But at the same time, like hearing them when I walk out to fight is like nothing better than knowing that their support's there. So I'm excited to hear all their voices again.
You were a junior European champion and a world champion. Was that in Muay Thai? Was that in kickboxing? What levels of disciplines of combat sport?
Yeah, so in Muay Thai I was world champion, yeah, amateur. I won gold for 4 years in a row at IFMA, so I had such a good amateur career in Thai boxing under my mum, and just so many like amazing experiences. Like I think that's what's made me the fighter I am today, is that I got so much experience when I was young that really benefited me, and now obviously it's paying off.
A while ago, was it even thought of that someday MMA, that's what I'm going to do, or did that happen later on?
Yeah, I mean, it happened a little bit later on, the transition to MMA. It was always something that I watched on TV that I always wanted to do. I always wanted to be able to, like, I used to say, like, roll on the floor and know what I'm doing. Now I know it's like jiu-jitsu and there's actually a meaning to it, but back then it was kind of like, oh, I'd love to be able to do that, and I used to watch the fights and enjoy it, but then as soon as I started to like understand it more and train it myself, I just completely fell in love with it.
What will it be like competing for PFL and leading into next season and wanting to be a part of the PFL playoffs and getting something in that? Because I don't think it's been announced, but I believe they will be adding a division next year, because they only have one division, which Kayla Harrison has been awesome at. She's also American Top Team. She's in the playoffs. She'll be on the card as well on August 20th and all. But what is it like for you to compete for PFL and then possibly get next year into the PFL regular season?
Yeah, I feel like signing with PFL now and becoming a part of this organisation is kind of like the start of really big things to me. I feel like this is like my step to really making it and pushing it. So I'm so excited to be under them guys and really grow with them. PFL is growing so big so quickly at the moment, so I'm really excited to be part of that journey, because I feel like it's really going to go places. But yeah, the plans are massive for the next few years. Obviously, I'm the first one they've signed for the flyweight division, but they've got big plans to like build that up, and then obviously the playoffs will come in maybe 2023, 24. So I'm so excited for that. I'm more than ready.
Dakota, what is it like, though, too, knowing that you go through the regular season, make the playoffs, get to the championships, and you become a champion, and also you get $1 million? How cool is that?
I mean, that $1 million at the end is big, right? I feel like as soon as I win that $1 million, like all my stresses and worries will be gone, and I feel like if something like that was to happen to me, I would become 10 times better a fighter, because every other pressure would be gone. I could just focus on literally getting there and fighting. There would be no like financial worries or nothing. Like that would just be a dream for me.
Being here, what has it been like? Have you got a chance, because I know she's so busy, have you got a chance to talk to Kayla? And what are your thoughts of Kayla as a fighter? And just to think, two-time PFL champion, two-time Olympic gold medalist judo champion as well.
Yeah, I mean, Kayla's career is just so inspirational. Like what she's got 2 kids as well, a full family, and look at what she's achieving at the same time. Like, I mean, you'd be crazy to not look up to her, you know. And that's another thing with PFL, is that it's really nice to have somebody like that I can look up to and think, like, look what she's done in her journey with PFL, and you know, I'm hopefully going to follow and be just as successful as she is. But she's great. I mean, she's such a nice person as well, and I think that's why she gets such amazing things coming to us, because she's just like a big ball of energy. Like, she comes in the gym in the morning, and I've said this a few times now, like she'll get everyone going, and she's like always shouting and training, and her energy's always so high. So yeah, she's amazing. Yeah,
positivity, and a leader, a really good leader as well here for our American Top Team. Do you know yet who's going to be in your corner for your big fight on August 20th?
I do. So my corner's going to be Conan. He's going to fly over with me. And then my brother will meet me in the UK. He normally does my corner back at home, so he'll be in my corner. And then the third person's not really decided yet. We've kind of settled with them too, and maybe I think obviously because Kayla will be there with Mike Brown, and Mocko will be there too, so maybe one of them will help out or something.
When you say that, what does that mean to you, to just have those type of people, those type of coaches that, oh, you know who's in my corner?
I know, do you know, so many people have asked me and said, like, is anyone coming from ATT to do your corner? And I'm like, do you know what? Yeah, like, I've got Conan coming to do my corner. Like, that was Amanda Nunes' coach. Like, it's crazy. Like, it still hasn't sunk in quite, like, it just hasn't sunk in that I'm getting training from such, like, high level, like, you know, coaches like that. I feel extremely lucky to even be a part of ATT.
What are your thoughts of PFL Europe? We talk about PFL, but now an expansion, and obviously, as you said, and we know, you're a big part of this.
Yeah, PFL Europe's going to be crazy. I think it's one of the biggest things that UK MMA is like ever been a part of. I think we've really needed it. Like, you know, we've needed like an organisation like that to come into the UK or to come into Europe and really like push it now. And obviously, they've done amazing things. Like, it's going to be on TV, it's going to be on Channel 4. Like, we don't really air that much MMA on UK TV, so it's crazy that they've come in and done that already. Like, it's just the start of such massive things. They've done amazing things for UK MMA.
And Dakota, and this always happens. We always have lights on, lights off, but that's all right. We roll with it. That's all we do. Every interview we go, we do something. It's like, what's coming in? So now we're getting to the darker side of the interview. No, we're not doing that. But how do you feel too? Because mentally, how do you deal with being a big part of this? Is it just because the training you've had, the experiences with your mom, great fighter, that you're able to, at a young age, you'll be able to deal with a lot of all this, media, everything that goes along with being a part of PFL Europe and PFL?
Yeah, I mean, the pressures never really go away. Like, I feel like it never really gets easier. I put a lot of pressure on myself, like being a part of such a big organisation. I just kind of have to always remind myself that, like, this is the life that I've wanted, and this is kind of the direction I've always wanted it to head in, and, you know, I'm ready for it. Like, I just need to take every day as it comes, don't think too much about the future. Like, I need to remember to enjoy the process, and that's kind of what I've been trying to teach myself at the moment, is that, like, I need to be grateful and be proud of the small things that I'm achieving and not just what, you know, the future's looking like.
Did you know PFL had you on the radar?
I didn't actually know. So, yeah, PFL kind of just came to me out of nowhere. I feel like maybe they spoke to my manager about it, I'm not sure, but yeah, it just came to me, and it came to me at such a perfect time. Like, there was quite a few organisations and fights that came to me that I was a little bit like, do I go with that? Do I not? Am I ready for that? Am I not? And then when PFL came, I was just kind of like, no, this is what I want to do, and it felt so right, so that's why I've gone with these guys, and I'm excited now.
Everything's happened pretty quickly too. Yeah. And yeah, so it's just like, okay, here we are, make a decision, here we go. Hey, guess what? Yeah. You're fighting August 20th. It's like, whoa. So you're traveling the United States, coming here to American Top Team. It's just been like unbelievable. Coaches here and all speak very highly of you, and they say, gee, keep an eye on her, watch and see what she does and all. And you are so young, and you're young to the MMA world as well. What do you want to get out of this right now? What are your thoughts of what's Dakota doing right now and where she wants to be? Of course, fighters want to be champions. What do you want to do right now?
Yeah, right now I just want to progress. Like, I feel like I'm still so young. Like I said, I might be 24, but I feel like that's still young. I've got so much time. Like, I've been in MMA like 4 years now, and I'm just signed with PFL. Like, it's a big thing, you know. People work like their whole career to get to this point, so I need to be like, you know, soak it in. But I just want to progress every day, and I feel like being here in America, I've really found like I've really settled with the surroundings and the sport, and, you know, the people that I'm around. Like, I just feel like I'm in the right place, and it's probably one of the happiest I've been throughout my whole time in this sport. So I definitely know I'm in the right place and doing the right thing now.
I don't want to say the name wrong. The arena that you're going to be competing in.
Yeah.
The name of the arena? Copper Box Arena?
Yeah, that's
yes.
Correct.
All right. Have you ever competed there before?
I haven't, no. I don't even know if I've ever competed in London before.
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh my, all right.
So I have been to watch like a few teammates and things fight there, but I don't think I've ever competed myself down there, no.
Do you think of what you're going to wear and also the music that you're coming out to? Is that all part of the process, or do you have other people handling that?
No, so my I haven't got to sort my outfit this time. Normally I have to pick my outfit and know what I'm wearing, but this time it's been sent to me, so I saw a photo of that the other day. The first flyweight outfit has finally been made with my name on it. But as for the walkout tune, that is probably one of the most stressful things about fighting. I absolutely hate it. I hate it. My manager messaged me the other day and he said, what song do you want to come out to? I need to send it off. And I was like, straight away, Cody, my brother, I was like, what song am I coming out to? Just pick it and sort it. I hate anything like that, but you know, it's just part of the process. I've got to get used to it.
I think as your fandom grows, and if that's not something you want to do, but as the fandom grows, you just have them select the music.
Yeah.
You put it out there for them, make it fun for them, and say, hey, what do y'all think? What do you guys think? I'm taking suggestions later on down the road.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. Sometimes I make it like everyone back at home from my gym that I know personally, we have like a group chat, and I'm always like, what song do you want to like be singing while I'm walking home? I'm always like asking them or something. I'm like, as long as it's something that like gives me that like warm feeling of ready to go, then I don't mind what it is. Yeah.
When you are going and you're out there, when does it just become focus on that fight, and you're even not hearing all the other things that are going on?
Yeah, I feel like maybe when I'm warming up it kind of starts to get like that, but as soon as I'm like ready to walk out, I kind of get in that zone, and then as soon as my foot hits that cage floor, it's like I switch into a different person.
Manchester United. Are you a big Manchester United soccer fan?
No, Manchester City all the way. Manchester United are cancelled. I've never been a United fan. My whole family have always been Blues, but I'm so glad because they are 100% the best team.
Are you a David Beckham fan?
I am. I'm not sure I'm a David Beckham fan over football, rather just his looks. But anyway.
You and many others, so it's okay. And did you grow up in Greater Manchester, but the name of the city, S-A-L-E, how do I say that? Is it Sally?
Sale.
Sale, it is Sale,
Yeah,
so it is Sale.
It's a town in Manchester, yeah.
Greater Manchester, England.
Yeah.
What was it like growing up there, and what kind of city, what kind of area was it like there?
Yeah, Sales, I mean, Manchester as a whole is like, I love it. I've always come from, I've always grown up in Manchester, so.
And that's big. I mean,
Yeah.
you say Manchester, we know Manchester.
Exactly, yeah. I come here and people say, where are you from? And they're like, I say Manchester, and they're like, oh, no way. Everybody knows it. So it's like, I'm always proud to come from Manchester. But Sale is only a small town. Some people say it's posh, some people say it's not. But yeah, I've had a great childhood living there. So yeah, I love it.
Maybe someday, I don't even know, is there like where Kayla's from, in Ohio. Now there's actually a sign when you're driving as you go into Ohio, and it says home of, and it has Kayla Harrison on there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think that's so cool.
Oh my God.
So I'm wondering, do you even know if they do that in England? If you go to the cities and it says home of somebody, or
They're definitely not going to do that for me in the UK. Oh. We're definitely not cool like that. But oh my God, that would be absolutely amazing. But no, I don't see that happening anytime soon.
And then I also if we could just talk about your decision. Was it a hard decision, or I should say this, was it a long decision or a long process to actually figure out, okay, yes, I'm going to sign with PFL? I know we talked about signing with PFL, but did it take a while, or was it a short process for you to say, okay, yeah, this is what I'm going to do?
I'm going to say it was quite shortish. It was one of the shorter processes than any decisions I'd made before. And I think that is just generally down to the fact that I really felt it was right, and it was the first time. I am a bit like cautious sometimes, maybe too careful who I go with and like where I fight and things like that. But when we sat down with the guys from PFL before I came out here and we had a chat about their plans and stuff, it just all felt so right. So it was literally within a few days we were like, we're doing this and we're going for it.
Is there anything else you're looking forward to go back home now, go back to London, be a part of PFL 9, and again, these shows are on ESPN, which is like one of the huge, big sports cable channels around. have you even processed that part of it too? That, all right, now you're going to be on ESPN?
I know, I haven't at all. No, I was watching I've always said since being over here, like on ESPN, like I can watch all the fights in real time. Like I normally have to get up at like 3 o'clock in the morning to watch it in the UK, but obviously over here I've noticed how much it is on TV and how like popular it is. So it's not really sunk in yet. Even like to be on Channel 4 in the UK is absolutely massive for us over there. So I don't think it will sink in until I actually look back on it and actually see myself on there.
And MMA, we know fighters from the UK that have done very well. How big is MMA in the UK?
Yeah, I mean, it's grown so much. Like, I mean, I've only been involved in the sport for like 4 years. Did follow it before that, but in the time that I've been involved, like, it's just become massive. Obviously, Brendan is on the card, the same card as me. He just like, everybody follows him in the UK. You know, he's like brought MMA up so much in the back from where we're from. So yeah, I just can't believe how much it is growing, and still it's moving so fast with PFL now doing what they're doing. It's only going to get better.
Are you looking forward to any other combat sports? All the combat sports you've competed in: MMA, kickboxing, Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Are there any other disciplines of combat sports you've competed in?
I mean,
boxing?
Jiu-jitsu competitions. I haven't done a boxing fight yet. No. I did get loads of offers of people asking me to transition to boxing all the time, but no, I haven't kind of gone down that route. For now, I'm really happy with where I am, but I'm never going to say no because you never know what could happen in the future.
And that future, and now we're going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for your time. The thing that's interesting to me, because we talked about these different combat sports, of course MMA, a big combat, different type of sport is professional wrestling. And we have seen MMA fighters transition and vice versa.
Yeah.
And I know professional wrestling is huge in the UK.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, is that something that you watched as a kid or were interested at all in as a kid? And if that's something that you might even, who knows, delve into later on?
Maybe, yeah. I'm never going to say no, but it's not really something that's ever like, I've been like, I want to do that or anything. It's not something, I'm not going to lie, that I've thought, oh, I'll definitely do that one day. But, you know, so many things have changed in my career. My goals change all the time. Like, my interests change all the time. So, I'm just gonna say maybe. I'm open to it. You know, I'll never say no to anything.
There's a fighter from here, Valerie Loretta. She just signed with WWE. She's up in Orlando at their big WWE Performance Center Training Center. Kayla's been on AWTV. She didn't compete, but she was on the program.
Yeah.
And other fighters from here: Junior Dos Santos, Austin Vanderford, Paige Van Zandt, Dalton Rasta, Arlovsky. I know, it's amazing. King Mo has been on. Does a lot with that too and all. It's so interesting to hear. And Mr. Dan Lambert is huge into professional wrestling. Yes, I don't know even if Dan even came to you and said, "Hey, we're gonna have to get on the jet one time, and we're going to go to a wrestling show." And has he even said anything like that to you, or not yet?
Not yet. No one said that to me yet. But I'm sure the more time I spend here, the more offers I'll get for stuff like that.
Yes. All right, Dakota, do you have social media for fans?
I do, yeah. I have Twitter, which is Dakota Ditcheva. I have Instagram, which I'm often on. That's Dakota D_, and then I also have an athlete page on Facebook.
Everybody, keep an eye here because this is one of the ones who's been doing her thing, doing it well, and this is the next step, MMA, PFL. We got the big fight on August 20th, her debut. Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you very much.